Survivor Philadelphia. Second season of Survivor Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
As here's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos.
And the hunt is on for the idol.
But it ain't about how hard you hit.
The winner of Survivor Philadelphia Season 2.
It's about how hard you can get it and keep moving forward. How much you can take.
Survivor Philadelphia.
And then we are back with your Purple Pants podcast coverage of Survivor Philadelphia, Season 3, Episode 9. I'm super excited to be joined with my co-host, Mr. Timmy Bridgman. How are you this week?
Bryce, I'm feeling great. It's always exciting to talk to you. So I'm super excited to be talking about Survivor Philly again. You know, Survivor is back and Survivor Philly recap is back too. So I'm excited.
Yes, we are here covering episode 9. Only one more episode to the season finale of season 3. And this episode definitely did not disappoint. A lot of great things were happening. A lot of moves were making, a lot of missed opportunities. In my opinion, I was yelling at my screen this Tuesday afternoon, like, what are you doing? But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so you know, we had somebody was just voted out. I don't know who, but somebody was just voted out. Two childs was just voted out of the game of Survivor Philly. And we immediately come back to the immunity challenge where the merge tribe is reunited as one. So this immunity challenge, Bryce, is basically a game of memory and with a mix of touchy subjects to where if you get a question right, you get to chop the rope of one other player. So some of the questions might be, what time did you wake up this morning and brush your teeth? But more specifically, to give a better example, you know, what time was the challenge? What time did this person go on a journey? So from this, you again chop a rope of another player, and the last person with a rope left wins.
Yeah. Interesting, because I'm like, would I remember what time the first merge boot happened? Would I remember the time we did that? So I was trying to see if I could even remember it, and I would have got all of them wrong. It's very interesting because it seems like I always get them confused. So I want to say the Fairmount tribe is the Green tribe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Fairmount tribe, Gabe is the only Roxborough left, and in no coincidence, they all seem to target Gabe, and Gabe is the first person out, which sucks because it's like, well, damn, can Gabe catch a break? Gabe can't never catch a break nowhere. They are chopping his rope out, and then it's like, okay, now it is Sunshine, Robinette, Ryan, Manfred, and Paige left. And it seems to be going pretty well, I want to say. And then we get down to the final 3, is it? And I know it's Paige, Ryan, and Manfred.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's right, though.
Yeah, I want to say Sunshine was in there too for like part of towards the end as well, like with that challenge.
Yeah,
So,
he was.
But I know for sure, like, you know, going into the final round, Paige was definitely one of the people in there. And I found it interesting too, Bryce, that watching it back, I'm like, poor Gabe. Poor Gabe could not catch a break. You know, him being out of the challenge first and getting all 3 of his ropes chopped just like that. You know, he didn't stand a chance in that moment. But I found it interesting that, you know, now we would have had to turn on each other at this point. And to see, it seemed like to me, this challenge after Gabe was out, you know, when you're playing as a kid and it seemed like they was playing kickball, right? But instead of the rule where you got to hit the person with the ball to get them out of the game, they only playing with the rules where it's like, if you got the ball and you touch the base, that person's out. Because I don't think they was really trying to come for each other. It was a lot of, you know, playing nice, playing, you know, a little low ball and not really coming for each other in an aggressive way, and a lot of de-escalation.
For sure. Also, just a lot of like not wanting to make the first move, or like, oh, you already got 3 of your roach chops, so I'm gonna go after you. Again, trying to play it cutesy and having Gabe be the first one out, it's easier for them to like, okay, we all can agree that we're targeting Gabe. But for real, we have problems within, and there can only be one winner. So my thing is, when is somebody going to make a move? When is somebody going to like pull the trigger? And so it was interesting enough. Shout out to, a listener of the podcast, Paige. She pulls out a win. And I think it's definitely really great for Paige's resume. I've been crucial. I've been very critical of Paige. She let me know a couple of times, but I definitely think this win for Paige in my mind boost her resume. It's interesting because not only does Paige win immunity, she gets to go on the last and final journey of this season, and we don't know what the journey will be. Alex G does make it clear that there aren't any like idols or anything, but this journey can definitely give you a leg up in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I found myself being proud of Paige and watching it back, especially somebody who didn't see the challenge happening. The way she, got to the very end and, won it and got to go on this journey, I thought was exciting. So I'm curious to see how we dive into how she deals with the information she gets and how she reads it. Because I think, as she goes on this journey, right, she's separated from the entire tribe, and she doesn't get back until pretty much right at tribal council. So this journey for her has to be worth it at this point. It's like, walking into the casino with all your last savings, and you got to cash it in. You got to get what you got to get, because ain't no coming back with nothing. You got to come back with something. So I think this journey for Paige, she definitely was wanting to come back with something, and I think she did come back with a lot of something.
Absolutely. And I love the edit. I love the edit because we don't really get to see what the journey is at first. We more see the tribe talking, right? So we see Gabe and Manfred talking. They're bonding over their backgrounds. They look similar. We hear a lot about Gabe's story, about Gabe being adopted. And again, just really getting to know more about Gabe. I just, I fall more and more in love with Gabe. And, I'm out here rooting for Gabe. It's interesting to see Robinette navigate this, because Robinette is sitting here like, is it a bro party? Because it seems like the bros are broing down. You got Sunshine, you have Ryan, and you have Gabe, who we know are a solid 3. We have Manfred over here, who is trying to kind of sort of connect with Gabe. We know that Manfred and Robinette are somewhat close. It is interesting to see, and this is where I feel like the biggest missed opportunity of the episode was of my baby boy Gabe. I'm going to be a little critical of Gabe, because again, Gabe is falling back into this position of, I'm just a number. Like, whatever you guys want to do, I'll go. Like this, like kind of like poor me story. And I'm like, Gabe, now or never. And it's now. You can get a Manfred. You can get a Robinette. That leaves Sunshine and Ryan vulnerable. Then it's like you see Manfred kind of talking with Sunshine. Well, we don't even really see him talking to Sunshine. So that leads me to believe like his relationship with Sunshine isn't that great. It seems like he has a more connection with Ryan. Now, as I'm watching it, and not Manfred, and Gabe is talking to Ryan, I'm just calling BS up and down with everything that Ryan is saying. Ryan's like, yeah, like me and you can go to the final 3. Like, it is so clear that Ryan is very connected to Sunshine. Another interesting thing that Ryan does during this time period is that like they're all freaking out about Paige on this journey. Now, I find it ironic because we know that Ryan went on a journey, and we know that when Ryan came back, he tried to, mitigate his threat level and really kind of put everything out there. So I thought it was so ironic that Ryan is like, if she's talking to the jury, she could be talking to the jury. We got to get her out. Like, and I'm just like, wow. But I'm not mad at it, right? Because it's like, you know what? Plant these seeds, Ryan, like, because Ryan is like, I'm the best thing out here. Like, I'm the one to beat. I'm the one to beat. And I really wish Gabe had this attitude, because I really feel like Gabe is in such a peculiar situation where it's like you're at the bottom. However, Fairmount is going to have to self-implode soon. So why don't you ignite the fire to explode them? You can get Robinette, you can get Manfred, and let's work on something. Manfred is closer to Paige. Like, y'all could really get a threat. And I don't really feel like Gabe sees this opportunity. Gabe kind of fell into the background of saying, like, you know, poor me, like, I like whatever you want, I'll do. And it's like, no, Gabe, like, get this. And then we see these confessionals of Gabe where Gabe is like, I'm a strong player. They are treating me like I'm a GOAT, but like I really am a threat. Well, I need for you to show up like a threat, Gabe, because Gabe isn't showing up like a threat. Gabe is showing up like, just bring me to the end. And it's so frustrating because I'm rooting for Gabe. And it's like, you have this position, you have this power position. First of all, look at the jury. The jury is all your purple tribe. You could win if you get to the end. Okay.
That's true. And to add to that, to give Gabe a little credit, I think Gabe was wanting to make that big move, wanted to make something shaky and get out one of the big guys, but he just went about it the wrong way. It's like, you know, if you're at the fire making challenge and you're trying to make a fire with some wood that's been out in the ocean, out in the rain, it's not going to catch a spark. You know, you're not going to get Ryan at this point to turn on Sunshine, or you're not going to get Sunshine to turn on Ryan. But if you take that same flint, the same strategy you got, the same drive to make a big move, and you just turn that flint to the side, to Manfred, to Robinette, your fellow DJ, you know, it might have been a different story, and it might have been a big move in that round versus what we saw for sure.
And it's also interesting. We see that Manfred is talking to Sunshine, and of course, they say Gabe is the private investigator, or Gabe says he's a private investigator. But in my opinion, Sunshine's nickname fits Sunshine so much, because Sunshine literally is the sun watching everything. We saw Sunshine help Paige with this advantage, so he knows where her bones are collected. Then Sunshine sees Manfred get this idol, and Sunshine plays it so cool. He doesn't say anything, doesn't make a big deal. Because if it's me, I'm approaching Manfred directly and saying, what's up? What are we doing with this? But Sunshine chooses to lay back or lay up in the sun and just know that Manfred has it. And Manfred knows that he has it. So it's like this unspoken rule that, like, if you are going to try to use it, Manfred, you better be including me in it. Because if you're not including me in it, I'm going to know, because I'm going to know something's up, and now I can pin everybody on you. So it is really interesting to see Manfred with this. And also shout out to Manfred. He came out to the Bryce and Win Survivor 47 premiere in New York City. So it's so good to see Manfred. And yeah, we'll be in Dallas next week. So, you know, hopefully we get to see some listeners out. But I was super hyped for Manfred to get this idol. I was a little disappointed that Sunshine saw it, but also I was happy that Sunshine saw it, because Sunshine don't miss anything. So will we be surprised if he didn't see it?
Listen, when it comes to Sunshine, Sunshine is like the sun, and every part of the world got to see the sun at some point. And Sunshine is going to be in that corner, even if it's just a little slither of sunlight, but it's going to shine. And Sunshine going to see all these moves that's being made. And he saw Manfred find this idol. It's like, you see me, I see you. I see you find this idol.
We see each
and
other.
I see myself. Okay. and they saw each other in that moment. But as somebody who was just voted out, and as a viewer, I'm rooting for Manfred. And even, you know, as a person on the jury, I was rooting for Manfred. So to see him have this idol and this advantage in the game, I'm hyped. I'm excited, because yes, his name had been out there. You know, I don't know why.
We know why.
Don't know who did that.
Well, okay, we know why. I can roll back the tapes. We know why. And shout out to Manfred, because the other day, did you see the story that Manfred posted on his story? First of all, Manfred listens, and clearly Manfred heard me cuss you out, because when Timmy had the immunity necklace, he had this immunity privilege, like, let's make a big move. But why we gotta make a big move? Because you got an immunity idol. And then he posted the story that was like, immunity necklace privilege. And it was a shot at my friend, but I thought it was a funny shot.
It was
So
funny too. I was like, my handwriting looks really cute there. It really, it really did. It really did.
like, did you vote for anyone else? It seemed like all Timmy voted for was
Not
Manfred.
Natasha.
Oh well,
Not Natasha.
I don't know what happened there. Yeah, they yeah. Let's not go down that road again because that got you in trouble before. Okay.
True. But yeah, like, seeing him with his idol, and he even says it himself, it's time to make a big move. Certain players were right with saying that a big move needs to be had, and I think Manfred at this point knows that it's Survivor now or never. And just like with never, and just like with now, it's coming together for this moment for him to make that move.
Yes.
That equation, he's making it and he's adding it to try to make something happen. And he has his idol to maybe make something happen.
Okay, so what you're saying is now plus never equals present.
That's what I would say. Say.
Okay.
Even though now is the present, we just gonna make it make sense in this moment.
Okay.
We're gonna do the Tim math.
Okay.
Like the extra vote plus the still a vote plus
kids.
the I didn't vote. Right, children and kids, childs. Now and never is also the present or now. So we just gonna add it up to get this this idea of something happening in this game.
Okay, another Tim math would be Tasha equals Timmy ain't do it.
Exactly. We get it. We get it.
Another Tim math would be broken ankle, give me water.
That part.
So then we get to see Paige go on this
journey.
To say scurry. Yes, journey. Thank you. And I don't want to say nothing bad about my girl Paige because Paige will cuss me out. But I will say this. Well, I don't know because I was just thinking. So explain it because I won't explain it well.
Of course, I got you. So with this journey, we saw we saw Ryan at the beginning of the game go on this journey and get the opportunity to look into the past and talk to a voted out player. Now, this time it's a little different because we're in the second half of the game. So Paige gets the opportunity to maybe see in the future. It's not that so Raven at this point. It's that so
you
Paige.
You can gauge into the future.
Okay,
because you can. Okay, shout out to that song.
Okay, and the dream is being this whole Survivor Philly, because Paige gets the opportunity to play this game of risk where you open one of these cases and get the chance to hear the perspective of the current jury players, excluding the two that were just voted out, to get some insight about your own game from two members of the jury. So some of these questions are like, what's your biggest strength? What's your biggest weakness? What do you need to do to win? And lastly, who is your biggest rival? So we see Paige pretty much take these risks, get to know her strength, which is her social game.
Each risk has, it lets you know a percentage. Like the first one is like 10% that you'll lose your vote. The next one is like 30%. The next one is 40%. The next one is 60%. So each time that you want to find out and read a clue, you have a chance of losing your vote, even though it doesn't really matter because you have one immunity, right? And I almost think in this position, it's like, I'll do them all. Lose your vote because it almost kind of takes you out of the equation, and whoever goes home, your hands are free of it, right? So I felt like this was a missed opportunity by Paige because at this point, I would have been like, just give them to me all. And then you can stay out of whoever goes home. And if you get to the end, that's somebody who you know is going to vote for you because they didn't vote you out.
Yeah, and on the point of Tim math, I think Paige had her Paige math because it added up for her. She at this point knew and learned a lot about her strengths and what she needed to do, and she really manifested knowing that people think her biggest rival is Manfred, and without even us knowing or her revealing that, she's right. She gets that, and she takes the calculated risk to not take that calculated risk. So to me, I think she got the best of both worlds and got like that answer that she needed while also still keeping her vote. But yeah, it's no risk in not opening up that last one because you're safe. But in case anything switched up, because again, she didn't get to go to camp at all whatsoever, she still had her vote to maybe play an impact in tribal council. Had she, of course, like not known that it was going to be unanimous.
Absolutely. And again, shout out to the editing staff and Alex
Mhm.
G producing this, because as she is reading each of the questions and getting feedback from the jury members, one, just the time that would have had to take while the Survivor Philadelphia was going on for the production staff to be getting this information from the jurors. I thought that was really great. I also thought it was funny because, Amir going to be Amir. And Amir said, well, listen, I don't know. I don't even know what Paige's voice sounds like. I said, no, Amir. Well,
Mhm.
Amir, you would have to stay in the game long enough to know what Paige's voice sounds like. But it definitely made me miss Amir's crazy self because, yeah, Amir was not holding any punches back. But I guess, yeah, I just was a little not mad at Paige, but I'm like, hey, girl, at this point, just read them all. But I also felt like maybe as a viewer, I'm like, none of this information that I'm learning is new to me, right? And I think that
Yeah,
Paige has a post on the game enough to, I don't believe any of the information was new to her either. So it's like, why not just go read them all or just don't do any of them? But I mean, I can understand why you would want to do it because it's like getting this information, if anything, really is like, okay, kind of helping you out. And I feel like the information that we have gauged is that you need to make a big move. A
that's
big
true.
move needs to happen. Because it's like they're saying you're likable. They're saying that like they gauge with you. They're saying that they vibe with you. They communicate with you. But what they are saying is that like it seems like all of your big moves are tied to Manford, and they believe that Manford is driving that vote there. So I guess where I was a little upset at Paige is that when we get back or when we get to tribal council and we see who's voted off, I see that there wasn't really a big move to be made. It was more of a safe vote to make, which I
Mhm.
kind of sort of disagree because, again, I've been saying this. I felt like Manford, you have the idol, you have Paige, you have Robinette, and you could potentially have Gabe. Now is the time. That would have been a great move to
I
get
agree.
rid of
And
Ryan or Sunshine.
yeah, especially as they weren't going to turn into each other. But Bryce, I have a question, Bryce. What's
Okay.
your favorite genre of music, Bryce?
I'm a R&B girly.
Okay, R&B. Okay, I feel like I like rap, but I say that because in this game, I think as a DJ, Robinette at this point, we're late in the party and we've been listening to rap the whole time, and we finna close the party out, and we still playing rap. At some point we got to switch it up. Maybe if we using physical, take out that vinyl, put another vinyl down to mix and match, because at this point we're greened out. We're Green Tribe stronged out. We can't Green Tribe strong no more. Like I can't not like us any more than
Oh,
Kendrick, because he might can play that song 7 times at a concert, but I might can't listen to it 7 times
he
because
gonna play it
the
at the Super Bowl
strategy.
though. He gonna
he,
play
he
it at
gonna
the
play it at the
Super
Super Bowl. I'm
Bowl.
gonna listen to it too, but at this point we have to switch it up. Maybe play some R&B. Maybe think of some different strategies. So I think for me that's a missed opportunity
I
by Robinette of maybe coming up with a different strategy.
I have to agree. And yeah, you know me, I'm ready going
That's
on
all love.
Page, right? But I actually need to go in on Robinette. Although I love Robinette, right? I felt like, and clearly what we are leading up to say is that Robinette got voted out, right? And
Mhm.
I think Robinette's interview after she got voted out, in my opinion, was like it revealed a lot. Robinette was like, when you get the interview, you expect people to be like, I wanted to go farther in the game. Like, Robinette was like, I I made it to final six. Like, and Robinette's book, she won. And by all certainty, she played a great game. Like, she really
Mhm.
did her thing. I think the issue for me, or not the issue, I think that what I wanted a little bit more from Robinette was that, like, make a move. I feel like Robinette was just surviving. Robinette was kind of like surprised at like how well in the challenges she was doing. And I don't think Robinette was like trying to make moves enough. I kind of felt like Robinette felt a little bit like Gabe. Like she been in battle a lot and like, she just didn't want to like go on the offense. She was kind of still playing the defense. And it's like, girl, it's moves to be made. Like I know they all green, but like green still bleed.
Green do still bleed. It's like, being in a boxing ring. I understand at the beginning of the game, you got to hold your arms up and dodge them punches. But at some point to win the match, you got to swing back.
Yeah.
You got to swing back. And we didn't see that swing at this point.
But I mean, it was very clear that she was very grateful and very like just surprised that she was here. But I just feel like in this specific season of Survivor Philadelphia, we have some players here, right? Like we have a Manfred who's playing the game. We have a Paige, she's playing the game. We have a Ryan. Ryan believed he the president. Okay. Ryan said, I'm the one to beat. Ryan said, like, Ryan has proclaimed he the winner. Sunshine is just the earth, wind, fire, and so Sunshine just everywhere, know everything, don't say nothing, but he there. And in my opinion, that's a problem. And I feel like the fact that Ryan, like, okay, so let me just say this, right? I needs me a Royal Rumble. And I needs me a Royal Rumble at this point of Sunshine and Ryan because they're the people shaking. And I know they said in this episode or last episode, like, bro, let's final two. Let's fight it out. I don't think Ryan really wants to fight it out. I think Ryan, Ryan want to win. And Ryan going to say what he wants to say while he wins. And also, Sunshine is sneaky. So it's like, I really need, if Paige, Manfred, and Gabe are not going to utilize day 3, I need Sunshine and Ryan to start this war because y'all going to have to start turning on each other. And it's like, I'm going to be mad if it's just like, if they start picking off a Page, like, you know what I mean? Like, let now or never equals present.
equals present. And yeah, I think both of those players are smart enough to know that they can't sit with each other at the end and have a better chance at winning against maybe somebody else. So yeah, I think both of them at this point, and I could be wrong, might not want to sit with each other at the end, but they're going to tell each other that to make sure that at least that idea is out there.
It's interesting, right? Because they said, I don't know if it was this episode or last episode, like, Sunshine was like, we'll sit at the end, brother, let's go. We'll sit at the end, and then on Wednesdays you can come in with the strippers and the baseball players are there, and we can have a good time on my job, okay? Because that was a whole nother story that, like, Sunshine saying that the strippers be coming on Wednesdays, and he was like, and they have a lot of dollar bills. Like, Sunshine. Who right now, from what we know, who do you think would win at the end, Sunshine or Orion, if they sat next to each other?
Oh, that's tough because I think maybe Ryan might win because we saw Ryan establish some more connections across different tribal lines. He had the Sojo South Jersey bond with Jasmine. And
how that worked out though.
I mean, you're right. You're right. But I think Jasmine would have appreciated it versus, it's like throwing a line out in the ocean, you might appreciate a bite versus no bite at all. So I think that would have been the difference and making Ryan beat Sunshine in the end.
Yeah, it's weird because if I'm thinking of Sunshine and Ryan, right? And it's weird. I think as a viewer, right, I probably would lean a little more to Sunshine because we know all of this crazy stuff about Sunshine of like what he has done. Like we see how he moves. However, I think the players would see the charismatic, the like, the President Ryan. And I think the players might take to that a little bit more. What is more interesting, what I think though, is that same matchup, right? Like you put a Manfred next to Orion or a Manfred next to a Sunshine. I think Manfred might take them both.
He would have had my vote, or he can have my vote if that situation pans out like that. He can have my vote.
You will write his name down again.
I would write his name down a fourth time.
Yeah,
And every
like
opportunity I wrote his name down.
uh,
If hypothetically that's the final two we get, I'm writing his name down again.
yeah, it's just crazy because there's just so many paths to the end. And it's like, as a viewer, I could see a Sunshine winning because like that the way the
Mhm.
edit has like painted Sunshine, but also as a viewer, I could see Ryan. As a viewer, I could see a Manfred. As a viewer, I could see a Paige. As a viewer, I could see a Gabe, right? Like, but we only have one episode left. It's five people, like it's five people left. There needs to be a move. I need
Mhm.
if Manfred uses this idol correctly and can get out, this is the only way I'm going to respect Manfred's idol move. If he uses his idol and he gets rid of Orion or Sunshine, then I'm crown Manfred the king. But if he uses his idol and gets rid of a Gabe or a Paige, like that doesn't impress me because it's like,
Mhm.
like you can sit next to them.
That's true. That's true. And let's not forget, Paige still got that advantage.
That's right.
Paige still got that advantage too. She's still in the game too. And she might be coming from Manfred.
So, but
Mm.
now that's another interesting thing because, well, I mean, I guess, and I feel like in the new era of Survivor, you have to go after your number one. So yeah, if Paige could execute getting rid of Manfred, even though I don't want Manfred to go, and then could sit next to the end, there's a case for Paige as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's so many possibilities.
Listen, if only I was Raven in this situation, I could see it to the future. But I guess we gotta wait till next week when the finale happens. Bryce, can you believe it's about to be over already?
I can't believe it's about to be over, and we're gonna have to wait another 7 years because you know Alex G likes to take a rest after these seasons. So we're not gonna get a Survivor Philadelphia to 2032. So I can't believe it.
Listen, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, so we might have to take that time before we build Survivor Philly 4.
Listen, the greatness that these Survivor seasons have been, Alex G can take as much time as he needs because greatness
Mhm.
takes time.
Mhm.
But it's first of all, it's crazy to say that, like, I could say all of the names that are left: Sunshine, Ryan, Gabe, Manfred, and Paige.
Mhm.
And they're a solid bunch. I ain't mad. Like, I mean, I feel like the person who has the hardest, who would have the hardest shot to the end is a Gabe. But not actually, you know what? I'll take that back. Like, so if Gabe can get to the end, I would think that Roxborough would vote for him.
Yeah, I would think
Depending
so too.
Right. Depending on what he says and who he sits next to and how, because we have seen time and time, and even in Real Survivor, I think about the Survivor with Shan. And
Mm.
it was Deshaun and who won that season?
Erica.
Erica, right? Like Deshaun got to the end, and in all intents and purposes, I love Deshaun. Deshaun is a good friend of mine. And all intents and purposes, I really feel like Deshaun gave up that $1 million at the end because he did not
Mm.
he didn't give us what we wanted in the end. He kind of like fumbled a little bit. So it's like if Gabe could get to the end and turn on the speakers and talk his ish,
Okay. Get the
I'm
mixing, change
get
it
the
from rap to
mixing
R&B to pop
to
to
giving
EDM,
Beyonce the country
switching
album
it
of the
up.
year nominations that she
Okay,
deserves. Listen,
that part.
okay. Gabe might take this $30 home that the Survivor Philadelphia 3 is giving out.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And it's so great because at this point, I think all of the players left have winner potential depending on how these next few rounds go and who they sit next to. So it really comes down to now or never. Literal equals present. So yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, we only have one more episode left, which is so sad that it'll only be one more episode of Timmy and I. But with Survivor Season 47 back, you can catch Tim on the Bryce and Wynn Present page covering Survivor 47 in the way that Timmy Bridgman can only do. Where can the people follow you at, Tim?
Let me be clear. You can follow me at TimStagram on Instagram. And as Bryce mentioned, with Survivor 47 back happening and around the corner, you can find me on the Bryce and Win Present page. You can also might find me at a Bryce and Win Present event happening, one of the watch parties. So be on the lookout. You never know.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Timmy. We'll be back next week for our final recap of Survivor Philadelphia. This has been your Purple Pants podcast coverage of Survivor Philly. We'll see you soon.
It's the Purple Pants podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.